What are the best sources of harassment protection? The best sources for harassment protection typically depend on the type of harassment occurring and where that harassment is happening. If someone is being harassed at work, for example, then he or she can often go to a supervisor or human resources, HR, manager for assistance in dealing with the harassment. There are also a number of legal resources available in many situations to help a person dealing with harassment. Workplace harassment in the U.S. that is not stopped by a manager, for example, can be handled by contacting the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EOC, and harassment protection in extreme circumstances can also come from law enforcement professionals. Harassment protection typically consists of agencies or individuals that can assist someone who is the target of harassment and help prevent future harassment. This type of protection can vary, depending on the circumstances surrounding harassment and the intensity of that harassment. The laws of a particular country or region can also greatly impact the types of harassment protection that may be available, especially when attempting to gain protection or assistance from law enforcement and government agencies. In the U.S., for example, sexual harassment or other types of harassment that occur in the workplace are typically illegal, and most employers must provide harassment protection for employees whenever possible. Someone who is harassed at work can approach an appropriate person within the company, such as a supervising manager or an hour manager, to file a harassment complaint. This should lead to an investigation into the harassment and efforts to ensure protection for the person who has been the target of such harassment. Harassment protection in the workplace can also come from government agencies, such as the EOC in the U.S., though this typically must be done after efforts are made within a company. If a sexual harassment incident is reported, for example, but nothing is done by an employer, then the victim can pursue further legal action against the employer. There are a number of private organizations that can also provide various levels of harassment protection for a victim and assist in moving forward with a civil claim against an employer. Depending on the nature of the harassment, law enforcement personnel and legal agencies can also provide harassment protection. If the harassment causes a person physical harm, or intense fear for his or her safety, then a law enforcement agency should typically be notified. Many forms of harassment are illegal and can be grounds for criminal charges, especially if any type of physical contact occurs or the harassment continues over time. A lawyer or special advocate can also assist a victim with help in receiving protection from law enforcement agencies.